Taco Bell at 6 a.m.? He must have been out all night raging.
Taco Bell may be the biggest Mexican fast food chain in America, but let's check out 10 of the biggest Taco Bell failures of all time.
2 thumbs down.
The Bell Beefer.
Turkey can never beat cow, Chris. Sorry.
When you think of Mexican food, what comes to mind? Most likely a crunchy taco dripping with sour cream, or maybe a cheese-laden juicy beef burrito stuffed to capacity? Makes sense. And of course, there's also the classic hamburger? Yes, the hamburger. If you were to go to a Taco Bell in the mid-70s to mid-90s, a fast food franchise that specializes in serving up their takes on classic Mexican food, glancing at the menu and spotting the Bell Beefer, a Mexican hamburger, was not out of the ordinary. Taco Bell executives had their creative juices flowing, deciding to turn an American classic into a Mexican-themed food Frankenstein. Innovative? Certainly. Good idea? Not so much. Something resembling a sloppy Joe more than a hamburger, the Bell Beefer was essentially a taco on a bun, and frequenters of the Mexican food franchise were having none of it.
Better luck next time.
While the Beefer did manage to make its way back to Taco Bell menus for a brief period in the 2010s, the item was promptly removed. Mexican-inspired breakfast dishes.
Are they making waffle tacos now?
In Mexico, classic breakfast dishes can include such tasty delights as the eggy goodness of both huevos rancheros and huevos divorciados, the savory enchiladas and moladas, and of course, the French toast chalupa. Yes, Taco Bell took it upon themselves to dabble in the world of the morning meal, offering a Mexican twist on the Western breakfast. From the aforementioned French toast chalupa, consisting of scrambled eggs, bacon bits, and a side of syrup, to the eggs and sausage rolled up in a waffle that was the waffle taco. Taco Bell's take on breakfast was nothing if not innovative. Perhaps the strangest breakfast item ever created by the Mexican fast food chain was the naked egg taco. Hash browns, cheese, and ham wrapped in a fried egg taco shell.
Can I offer you a nice egg?
Suffice to say, breakfast has never looked more unique, but sometimes ideas are best left on the drawing board. The Firecracker Burrito.
Then get your reps in and make your brain pop. Pop, 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 pop.
Remember being a kid and running to the convenience store with your hard-earned allowance in hand? The feeling of walking into the store as the doorbell chimes and perusing the aisles in search of chips and candy bars? And then there were the fun treats like Pop Rocks. Remember Pop Rocks? The sweet candy pebbles that would pop, crackle, and explode in your mouth were a childhood staple for most. Well, for some inexplicable reason, somebody in the Taco Bell corporate offices, perhaps feeling a bit nostalgic that day, decided to mix Pop Rocks with a burrito. A gimmick and a half, the Firecracker Burrito gave Taco Bell patrons the option to bring their burritos to crackling life with the addition of a spicy version of the ingredient that gives Pop Rocks their pop. The burrito itself was, for the most part, a normal burrito consisting of the standard ingredients such as cheese, beans, and beef. But seemingly creativity trumped forethought in the case of the unique food item. The Firecracker Burrito was discontinued not too long after it made its bombastic debut. Sometimes mixing food and fun doesn't always work out. The Blackjack Taco.
This is burnt.
No, baby, that ain't burnt.
Humans are visual creatures by nature. Of course, the aroma wafting from food to the nose is the first sensation you're likely to experience. It's the eyes that quite literally give you an image of the tasty treat that awaits. With that in mind, in a visual sense, what color happens to be the most appetizing? Black, right? Usually the first thought that comes to mind when thinking of the color black and food is, well, burnt. But this didn't stop the Mexican fast food giant from thinking it was a good idea to introduce the black-shelled Blackjack Taco. Debuting in 2009, the Blackjack Taco was a Halloween gimmick promotional item, which isn't anything new for food franchises, with various companies introducing seasonal items yearly. Scary? Maybe, but for the wrong reasons. Aside from the color of the shell, there wasn't anything special about the taco, with the ingredients consisting of beef, cheese, and Baja sauce. Well, that's not entirely true. true. You see, this particular taco was notorious for leaving consumers of the product with a little surprise after eating it. The blackjack taco was responsible for turning the contents within your toilet green.
What?
This was, of course, picked up by multiple media outlets. Who said any publicity is good publicity? Yeah, in this case, maybe not. The seafood salad.
You like seafood, do you?
Fast food companies have made it their mission to accommodate those looking to avoid the red stuff with the addition of fish items on their menus. The most famous of these options is undoubtedly the filet of fish served up by McDonald's. However, other chains such as Burger King and Wendy's offer up their own versions like the Big Fish and the Crispy Panko Fish Sandwich, respectively. Not to be outdone, Taco Bell decided to offer their own fish dish when they created the seafood salad. Debuting back in 1986, the seafood salad was served up with classic taco ingredients such as cheese, lettuce, tomato, all within an edible tortilla shell bowl, only with seafood in the place of beef. Topped with shrimp, whitefish, and snow crab, the seafood salad didn't catch on with Taco Bell customers and was quickly removed from the menu. Maybe it was the mixing of cheese and seafood, or maybe it was because traditionally people went to Taco Bell for their fix of tacos and burritos, and not salad or seafood.
Fish for sport only, not for meat.
This item failed because Taco Bell wanted to follow their rivals instead of sticking to what they do best. As we keep moving on, take a second to hit that like button, would ya?
Thank you. Next!
Cheetos Burrito.
Did you steal my Cheetos again?
When it comes to snack treats, there are two that are held closer to the hearts of snackers than any other crispy, cheesy delights: Doritos and Cheetos. Offering the satisfaction of both cheesy zing and a crispy crunch, both bright orange treats are consumed all over the world. So you'd think that mixing the tastiness of both Doritos and Cheetos with the deliciousness of a Taco Bell taco would be a match made in heaven, right? Well, yes and no. Showing up on the menus in the mid-2010s, the Doritos Locos Taco consisted of a Doritos nacho cheese flavored taco shell stuffed with the usual ingredients. The taco also came in several varieties, such as Supreme and Cool Ranch flavored, all part of an inter-promotional campaign with Frito-Lay. The Doritos Locos Taco was one of Taco Bell's biggest sellers, becoming a bona fide success. This, of course, prompted the folks in charge to develop yet another item with Frito-Lay, the Cheetos Burrito.
Hold that thought.
While Doritos are tortilla chips and Mexican in theme, Cheetos don't exactly make you think of Mexican food. Debuting in only a single market, the Cheetos Burrito failed to catch on and was never released outside of Cincinnati. Perhaps the idea of biting into a juicy, cheesy burrito stuffed with the unusual, rice, beef, and soggy Cheetos wasn't exactly a palate pleaser. While Cheetos are delicious, this was a better idea on paper than in reality. Biscuit Taco.
And by the way, these biscuits are amazing.
The culinary possibilities of biscuits have been explored most famously by the southern United States. The classic biscuits and gravy, a freshly baked biscuit smothered in a heaping amount of thick sausage gravy, has been a sought-out dish for every southern tourist and a comfort food that sits alongside the likes of mac and cheese and cornbread. As delicious as a nice hearty biscuit and gravy breakfast may be, when one is thinking about Mexican food, a good old-fashioned biscuit dish is likely the last thing that will spring to mind. So when Taco Bell had the idea to introduce a biscuit item onto their menu, you have to wonder what exactly they were thinking.
I have no idea.
Debuting in 2015, the Biscuit Taco was yet another take on breakfast. The Biscuit Taco consisted of either egg, sausage, and even a piece of spicy fried chicken, all barely contained in a biscuit taco shell, and much to the surprise of no one, the biscuit dish suffered the same fate as the other Taco Bell breakfast-themed items. The Biscuit Taco quickly vanished from the menu, never to be seen again. While the idea might have worked at another restaurant, it didn't work at Taco Bell. You'd think the colossal Mexican-American food franchise would have learned their lesson and steered clear of the world of breakfast, but there you have it. B.L.T. Soft Taco.
You never order B.L.T.
If there's one thing you'll find in North America, it's that bacon is a welcomed addition to almost anything. Since it first showed up on some ancient person's plate a long time ago, bacon has been a smoky, tasty delight.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
When it comes to a sandwich or a burger, bacon has become a staple item, offered as an add-on at almost any fast food franchise you can think of. The idea of bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich taken to the fast food level was first introduced by McDonald's with the B.L.T burger back in the 80s, and still continues today in form of the B.L.T Quarter Pounder. So, unsurprisingly, in the early 90s, Taco Bell unleashed the B.L.T Soft Taco for all to enjoy. Part of the company's sizzlin' bacon menu, the soft-shell taco came complete with the standard taco ingredients, but failed to catch on. Perhaps the attempt to reinvent the wheel by merging the classic sandwich with a Mexican staple was just too much for Taco Bell fans. Classics are sometimes best left alone. Fully loaded nachos.
Do they do a decent nacho?
Some of the most beloved foods in Mexican cuisine are tasty and simple. Not every dish requires you to utilize fancy items and long, drawn-out cooking techniques, and there's nothing more delicious than a batch of nachos. Better still, a batch of full-loaded nachos.
It is the best.
With mounds of cheese, jalapenos, sour cream, and anything else you can think of, nachos are perfect for parties or enjoyed alone. A Mexican staple to be sure, so adding nachos to the menu of Taco Bell seems like a perfect match. How could this item not succeed? Yet that's exactly what happened when the fast food franchise added fully loaded nachos to their menu. Perhaps because there are other nacho items on the menu, the fully loaded option seemingly fell off the radar and failed to capture the public's interest. The Mexican pizza.
2 years, because that's how long it takes to recover from eating a Taco Bell Mexican pizza.
Ah, pizza. You'd be hard-pressed to find a person anywhere who doesn't have a fondness for the savory pie from the land shaped like a boot. The classic Italian dish has been a staple in North American cuisine for decades, and a go-to when lacking the time to whip up a meal for the whole family or a meal for one. So naturally, you'd think that when entering a Taco Bell and ordering a pizza, the cashier would either flash you a puzzled look or explain that Taco Bell is not a pizzeria, right?
Wrong-o.
Introduced in 1985, the Mexican pizza was placed on Taco Bell menus for a limited time. Originally called Pizzazz Pizza, surprisingly, this Mexican/Italian hybrid was not hated by patrons of the fast food franchise, and in fact was a staple on the menu for years, until 2020 and ingredient shortages caused the company to remove it from the menu. However, fans of the pizza rejoiced when Taco Bell decided to bring this culinary experiment back. The Mexican food giant put the Mexican pizza back on the menu for all to enjoy, and this time, it's permanent. Seems the failure here was taking the pizza off the menu to begin with, though fans of the item are not exactly thrilled with the new version of the pizza, with claims that the company has changed the original recipe. What's up with that, Taco Bell? Got a favorite you miss? Let us know. Thanks for sticking around. We've got more videos just for you, so stay right here and check one out.